not my son. Meghan Markle's anguished scream echoes through palace halls as her world collapses. In the next 30 seconds, we'll reveal how King Charles stunned the world by cutting Prince Harry off from every penny of his royal inheritance, and what drove a future king to take such a ruthless step against his own blood. You'll hear the private memos that gave Charles the legal cover to freeze Harry's Duchy of Cornwall income, witness the moment Meghan learned the news, and discover the explosive bargain offered to restore their fortunes. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. Scene opens on an ornate corridor in Buckingham Palace. Soft afternoon light filters through tall windows, casting long shadows across the polished marble floor. The camera tracks toward a heavy oak door at the end of the hall, its surface carved with the royal coat of arms. Suddenly, a piercing scream shatters the hush. Meghan Markle's voice echoes down the corridor, raw with panic and disbelief. Not my son. The words hang in the air like a thunderclap. Instantly, the audience is jolted into the center of a family crisis that threatens to upend the very foundation of the modern monarchy. Cut to an exterior shot, the palace gates closing behind the departing figure of Prince Harry. The hum of the press corps fades into the distance as he drives away, his face set in grim resignation. Behind him, palace insiders scramble to control the narrative. A senior aide, voice low and urgent, orders communications staff to prepare a statement. Cloaked figures in tailored suits pace the halls, carrying tablets and folders stamped "Top Secret." The sense of urgency is palpable. The frame shifts to Meghan, standing alone in a sunlit drawing room. She presses a trembling hand to her chest, her lip quivering as tears well in her eyes. Her gaze darts to a gilded portrait of Queen Elizabeth II hanging above the fireplace, a silent witness to the unfolding drama. The camera lingers on Meghan's face, capturing every flicker of emotion: shock, anger, fear. Viewers feel her vulnerability, the weight of expectation crashing down on her shoulders in an instant. In that moment, the audience understands that this is not just another tabloid scandal. It is a crisis of inheritance, loyalty, and legacy. Viewers are invited to ask themselves, what line did King Charles cross to trigger such a visceral reaction from Meghan? How could a father turn against his son so completely that the Duchess of Sussex responds with a scream that will echo around the world? These questions form the spine of our investigation. As the introductory heartbeat settles, we pull back to reveal context. Just days earlier, whispers circulated in Westminster of a private meeting between King Charles and his heir. A brief communiqué suggested that Harry's inheritance would be frozen pending a review of his royal duties and his commercial ventures. To many observers, it seemed routine caution. To Harry and Meghan, it was the opening volley in a war over influence and money. The screen splits between footage of a still-smiling King Charles at a garden party and grainy audio of Meghan's anguished cry. The contrast sharpens the stakes. Beneath the palace facade lies a complicated web of legal documents, trust funds, and precedents stretching back centuries. Inheritance for the heir apparent has always been governed by unwritten codes as much as by statute. For most of history, a disinherited royal meant exile or disgrace. Today, in an age of media scrutiny and public opinion polls, the fallout can be even more unpredictable. Will the monarchy survive this rupture intact, or has Charles dealt a blow from which it cannot recover? The screen darkens momentarily before fading into a timeline graphic. Key dates flash: Harry's marriage to Meghan in May 2018, the birth of Archie in May 2019, the couple's move to California in 2020, Netflix deal announced in 2021, growing tensions with senior royals through 2022 and 2023, and finally, the fateful day in June 2025 when the inheritance edict arrived. Each date carries its own controversies and triumphs, but now they converge on a single, explosive decision. Mid-intro, we cut to interviews with palace experts. A constitutional scholar explains that the sovereign technically can alter provisions in the Privy Purse, but doing so to strategic heirs is almost unheard of in modern times. A royal biographer notes that for Charles, the decision may represent not only a personal rebuke of Harry's choices, but a warning to any future challengers. The screen alternates between these insights and archival footage of past royal successions, underscoring the rarity and gravity of the move. Interwoven with expert commentary are reactions from